The Indianapolis Colts are undefeated to start the 2025 season. Can they keep it up against a Tennessee Titans game this weekend? Let's get to it.
You are Locked On Colts, your daily Indianapolis Colts podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you all for tuning in and making us your first listen of the day. This is your daily podcast covering your Indianapolis Colts, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets across the app. Hello, everyone. My name is Zach Hicks, your resident film nerd of HorseshoeHuddle.com, and my partner, Jake Arthur, is the credentialed boots on the ground for Round Table Sports. Guys, we have our typical Friday show coming right at you. We're going to talk about the offense, talk about the defense, and give our final takes and opinions about this Colts and Titans game coming up. We're also going to throw a little bit of a change up at you guys and talk about some bold predictions and some statements that you guys have sent to us as well. So we're going to have some really fun stuff going on in this show. Before we get into talking about offense and defense, though, we do have some injury updates from both of these teams. For the Colts, Charvarius Ward and Tyler Warren are both questionable. Ward has still not completely passed the concussion protocol. The last thing is getting the clearance from an independent neurologist. So he's like on the cusp of being able to play. Hopefully we'll see him upgraded to active sometime tomorrow. And Tyler Warren is also questionable with that toe injury. Again, we'll see if he's able to have a full workload on Sunday, but questionable is better than inactive for sure as of right now. Tyler Goodson and Leatu Latu are both back out there. And then for the Tennessee Titans, J.C. Latham and Sweat are out on the defense and offensive lines for them. Kevin Winston, their safety, their young safety, is doubtful. And then Brownlee, Snead, and Zeitler are all questionable. So that's a lot of big-name players there for the Tennessee Titans. Jake, before we get into this offense, though, what are your thoughts on the injury report there? Good for the Colts that they haven't listed anybody out as of right now.
Yeah, great for them that nobody is out and that Charvarius Ward, I mean, it looks like it's trending in the right direction. There's nothing really physical on the field left that he has to do. He's got a couple full sessions in this week. Actually, I think a full week of full sessions. So that's good. Tyler Warren, that one is obviously, to me, we'll get more into it, but I'm going to imagine their strategy is to just run the hell out of the ball in this one. So if they feel at all like it would be worth it to let him just sit, I think this would be an okay game to do it. But Leatu Latu being back, that's huge. I mean, they obviously had no pass rush, just 5 pressures, and they were only hurries last week. So as far as injuries go, I mean, shoot, even Tyler Goodson, if they do want to run the ball heavily and they want to get someone other than Jonathan involved, you got Giddens, you got Goodson. You don't have to use that practice squad call-up on a running back. So that's great. And then you don't want to celebrate another team's injuries, but God, Tennessee's got some big uns out. Tavondre Sweat being their nose tackle, the guy who replaced Tier Tart, like their big time run stuffer. He is out. J.C. Latham, their right tackle, being out, but also Zeitler at right guard being questionable, who hasn't really practiced this week. That could be the whole right side of their offensive line being out, the line that has allowed a league high 11 sacks. Brownlee is someone who has had to kind of step up. Or they were wanting to, while Snead's been out as well. Now, Snead did tell reporters that he was going to play, but he's yet to really handle a full workload yet. So this is it feels like a game where injuries are really going to allow the Colts to kind of smell blood in the water on this one.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get into this Colts offense versus Titans defense. Titans defense is probably better than what some of the numbers say because the Titans offense has been so bad this year. But to start the year, the Tennessee defense is 27th in yards. They're 24th in scoring, 31st on third down. They don't get much pressure. I think that's pretty legit for them. They have 2 sacks this year, very, very little pressure up front. Jeffrey Simmons is basically their only real pass rusher on the defensive line. So this Titans defense, I think they have some talent in the secondary. I don't think they're as bad as what the numbers say, but I do think that the issue here is their pass rush and just overall consistency in the trenches. So for me, Jake, I think this is a big game. Like what you just said was the Colts just got to run the heck out of the ball. I think running the ball constantly, getting those traps and whams going early where you're using the momentum of the defensive line against them. That is some area that Shane Steichen's had a lot of success in the past against the Titans. So I think this should be one of those games where, like, if Daniel Jones throws for $150 in this game or 200 yards, maybe, like, I'm still feeling fine because I think the Colts should be able to run the ball quite effectively in this one.
Yeah, without question. They're third from the bottom in yards per carry allowed. They're allowing 5.5 yards per carry. Jonathan Taylor had 218 yards and 3 touchdowns in that late season matchup last year. I think the formula is pretty clear, especially since they're going to be without one of their best run defenders. It's not been going well for them against the run or just in general this year. But we also have a very recent case where we know the Colts can run the ball against them pretty successfully. That would be my mode of attack. And again, if Daniel Jones only has 150 yards, but it's an efficient day where it's like 15 of 20 or something, you can absolutely live with that. Just picking up the occasional chunk play and trying to convert any occasional third and longs that you have come up. Totally fine with this being just a run heavy performance for them.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I actually want to jump over to one of our bold takes that we got from one of our followers here. Jay Aduna said, big Josh Downs day. He's been quiet. I don't really buy into the whole thing that he's been quiet to start the year. He was quiet in week 1, but he was very loud in week 2. He was the second best pass catcher on the Colts in week 2 behind Tyler Warren. So I don't think he's been quiet to start the year, but I do agree that this is the type of matchup that we see Josh Downs have a big game. Even if we want to go back to that late season game that the Colts had against the Titans last year, where Jonathan Taylor ran them to victory, who was the other standout player in that game? It was Josh Downs, who had a long touchdown on a swing pass and a couple other big plays. So I think Downs is the type of guy the Colts like to lean on in this matchup against the Tennessee Titans. And I do think he's going to have a pretty good showing in this one. So I like that bold take or that prediction there by Aduna there.
Yeah, I think with Downs, it's just, he had the 2 catches in week 1, and I don't believe he averaged 10 yards per catch in the last one. So we haven't seen like him have that big play where he creates like a huge yard after catch play or like runs the tightrope like we're used to seeing. No touchdowns. Yeah, I think that's pretty much coming, and this could be it. Again, it's a game where if you're just looking to move the sticks with the passing game, you really have no better options than Josh Downs, especially if Tyler Warren doesn't play. So I'm on board with that one. I think Josh Downs could have a big day. Here's another one from Jack's Colt. The Colts won't punt again. That one I'm not going to give them. I do think maybe Rigo punts a time or two, only because that's not sustainable. I'll give them that. I think probably Rigoberto Sanchez finally gets some non-kick holding action this week.
I will take some Rigo punts this week as long as we get more Spencer Schrader extra points in this one. Let's get some extra point attempts from Spencer Schrader. I don't like it when your kicker has more field goal attempts than extra point attempts in a season. That means you're not finishing your drives. So I will take some Rigo punts. I'll let him get on the field a little bit for some punts if the Colts can let Schrader kick some extra points in this game.
Yeah. I say we talked about better red zone efficiency this week. So that's really what we want to see out of the offense. All right. And then friend of the show, Kenan Kasenko, regression game for the offense, but they pull it out. So what do you think regression means like in this game, if that is the case? Is it basically what we already described, the fact that they don't need to be high-powered?
Yeah, I mean, I think there can be a regression game because right now we're looking at their success rate be higher than pretty much everyone else in the league. They're the best first down team in football by a wide margin. And again, they haven't punted this year. So there's going to be some regression at some point, and it could happen this week against the Tennessee Titans. I don't know. I'm looking at this Titans defense right now, and they're already a terrible run defense. Now there's no Tavondre Sweat this week, and they're a team that doesn't get much pressure. And again, Sweat is a part of that defensive line, probably the second best player on that defensive line. He's not playing this week. Like, I don't know. Like, it would be shocking, I think, if they had a big regression week. Like, I'm sure like them punting is part of regression, and maybe some of the first downs don't go exactly their way, but I would expect like high 20s in points this week. I'd be shocked if they can't hit that against this Titans defense that is kind of down and out right now, and they're not getting pressure. They're not stopping the run. For a Colts team where so much of what they do is built up in the trenches, this should be a week where the Colts O-line is able to have some success.
Yeah, I think regression only looks like statistically they don't need to be super well balanced. Like, I think the run game is going to really carry it. And then again, I just don't, they're going to not have to be so explosive in the pass game. And I think that is how it will manifest. You hope to see, good third down conversion rate and some success in the red zone. But also this is a team that's sustaining super long drives as well. So I think that's probably what we'll continue to see with probably a slight dip in the explosive offensive plays. All right, guys. So here in a moment, we're going to talk about the defense because that has been the more unpredictable side of the ball so far this year. It is almost the weekend. It's time to look back and crown this week's MVP on Who Delivered, powered by DoorDash. Just like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash Streaks, saving more money every time you order, these players delivered when it mattered most. So let's break it down. For the Colts, it's none other than rookie tight end Tyler Warren, the NFL's reigning rookie of the week, I will give you. He delivered in a big way last week against the Broncos, obviously. So, Zach, you've been crushing the tape on this guy these past few weeks, obviously. What did you see specifically out of Tyler Warren against the Broncos?
Yeah, he's just a versatile playmaker for this offense. It doesn't matter if they're putting him out wide, if they're putting him down on the offensive line, or if they're putting him in the backfield to play fullback. Tyler Warren is producing for the Colts in many ways and delivering in the run blocking game, the pass blocking game, and as a pass catcher. He is the reigning rookie of the week, and honestly, he's the leader right now to be the rookie of the year with how well he's playing.
Yeah, so there you have it. When the pressure was on, Warren came through. No hesitation, no delay. And if you've been watching week after week, this performance wasn't a fluke. Warren is on a bit of a streak. And just like Warren delivered for the Colts, DoorDash delivers your Saturdays. With DoorDash Streaks, you save every Saturday that you order, stack it up all season long, and you could save up to $250, including $100 in DoorDash credits. So order this Saturday, keep the streak alive, fuel your game day only with DoorDash. Terms apply, promo period through November 18th. And obviously the NFL season is here. We are well into it, and FanDuel is making sure that you are ready for every kickoff with a can't miss offer. All right, so listen, right now new customers can bet just $5, and if that bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the entire app. I love using FanDuel personally because it just fits however you like to bet. Not everyone likes to do a parlay. Some people just like to go, off the seat of your pants in a game. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. It's quick, easy, and the best way to add a little more energy to Sundays. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. All right, welcome back, everydayers. We are talking Colts and Titans this Sunday at Nissan Stadium at 1 p.m. Eastern. And, man, no matter how you look at it, either side of the ball for Tennessee, it's really not going great, Zach. So when we're talking Colts defense versus Tennessee offense, Tennessee is last in yards. They're 30th in points, and they're 31st on third down. They are last in yards per pass attempt as well, and sacks given up with 11. And then in the run game, they're 23rd in yards per carry. So they're not blocking well. They're not passing well. They're not running it well. It's kind of like they have the super talented quarterback back there who's just getting very little help. You're going to see flashes from Cam Ward. Obviously, had a play that only a few guys can make. Zaire Franklin thought it was not a great decision to throw it, which decision-wise, probably not. But, a guy like Cam Ward can make that throw. And then that's just the kind of almost magical stuff that a guy like Cam Ward can kind of pull out of nowhere. So you do have to be on your P's and Q's throughout the game if you're the Colts defense. But still, when you look at this matchup, is there anything where you think the Colts defense might need to kind of heed caution at all?
I think one thing is just like you said, Cam Ward is a special playmaker in the making. I think he's going to get there in terms of just being a guy who can operate off script and ripping those seams and utilizing tight windows in a positive way for the offense. I think he's going to be there. So much of this game just kind of reminds me a lot of that Bears matchup against the Colts early last season, except the Bears probably had a slightly better defense than where the Titans are at right now with their defense. But when we look at how the Colts played the Bears last year with Williams back there at quarterback, I think it was his third or fourth career start as well. And we saw him throw for over 300 yards, operate really well in the backfield, and gave the Bears a chance to win that game. But the Bears struggles on the offensive line. the inability to run the football, and then ultimately Williams just being a bit green and throwing some bad interceptions led to the Colts being able to win that game. I think that we're kind of looking at a similar situation here where it's like Ward can be a good playmaker that can make some big plays happen. And it wouldn't even shock me if he hit like 300 yards passing in this game. But overall, I just don't know if they have enough complementary pieces on that side of the ball to go crazy and win this football game. They're just not playing like a cohesive unit. The offensive line is hurt and just not very good right now. Their running game is suffering. And Ward is still trying to figure out what he can be in the NFL and what he's going to do and how to operate with like the time he has in the backfield. So yeah, overall, like, yeah, a guy like Ward always scares you because of the playmaking ability, because of his ability off script. But this Titans offense feels like it's in a bad place outside of Ward and what Ayo Manor is the receiver that he has a good connection with right now. Outside of that, they don't really have many bright spots on offense. And the last thing you want to do is give an offense like that some confidence. But this isn't the same old Colts defense. This isn't Gus Bradley's defense where they're going to sit back and let these guys gain confidence. They're going to come after him. They're going to make him worried back there, and they're going to make this offensive line pay. So it should be a good bounce back week for the defense, and hopefully they can get into how they were playing more late in that second half last week than how they looked to start the game.
Yeah, I'm going to count on, Laiatu coming back and giving them a shot in the arm. Especially, I imagine, I've noticed he's lined up on the defense's left side a lot more often, really since the summer. So him against their backup right tackle. You're going to have DeForest Buckner against, if it's Kevin Zeitler or not, he's not 100%. And it's a bicep injury, so it's probably going to affect the way he's able to block a little bit. But Buckner would have that advantage regardless if Zeitler was at 100%. So Colts defensive line should look pretty good. And then if Charvarius Ward is able to clear the concussion protocol and play, I like those matchups a lot more because you just park Ward on Calvin Ridley, and then Xavier Howard can handle Alec Ayo-Manor, and then in the slot you got Kenny Moore versus Tyler Lockett, which should be a pretty good matchup. So I like how the Colts can match up a whole lot better if you throw Ward and Latu into the mix here.
Yeah, and I think they'll probably mix in a bit more man coverage this week than what they have in the first 2 weeks. A lot of their game plan the first 2 weeks, I think, has been, Tua throws the spot, so just get into our zone drops. And against Bo Nix with the shorthanded defense, it was, we can't really play man coverage right now. We don't have Charvarius Ward. I think we see a little bit more man this week, have Ward over top of Ridley or Ward over top of Ayo Manor, and making Cam Ward, the other Ward, go to his other targets on the field and really like pinching that middle of the field, making him have to just think an extra guess himself in the backfield. So I think we're going to see a bit more man. I think we're going to see a bit more diverse blitz looks in this one as well to really make this rookie quarterback think back there. So I'm not terribly terrified of this Titans offense. It's just, again, a talented player like Ward always gives you some fear, but it just feels like a bad situation for the Titans because I think we all know that Brian Callahan's like the most likely coach to get fired besides who the Colts played in week 1. He just feels like he's lost that locker room already. So it's kind of, it's just like kicking an opponent while they're down, I think, in a lot of ways. And I think that's just going to be the big thing for the Colts in this game is get out fast, maybe get a turnover early, get a sack early, and they might be ready to quit pretty early in this game.
Yeah, and that's for sure. And a lot of our viewer and listener hot takes, bold predictions here kind of centered around the pass rush. Because, again, the Titans offense has given up the most sacks, and the Colts are looking for, like, can they rush the passer or not? And is it totally reliant on Latu? So Dom and, let's see, Stefan Eierber and Landon Suman all talked about the pass rush. Dom said Latu's going to have his first multi-sack game. We got one that says 4 sacks. We got one that says 6 sacks. Do you think the Colts are capable of this with the 4-man rush? Or let's say to get 4 or 5 sacks. Is it going to be because Lou mixed up a bunch of blitzes, or how do you see that if they're able to crack that?
Yeah, they're going to show a lot of sim pressure. I think they'll be bringing different guys. They might do a lot of what they did against Tua, where that you see some defensive ends dropping into coverage just to change the looks that Ward is getting. But I think the most important thing for the Colts is just finishing your sacks. The Colts have struggled with this for years. Latu is one of the biggest contributors to this too. Finish your sacks. Like, you're going to get opportunities. John Ojokwu or who Ali Udo, I think, might be starting at right tackle. Like, these are like journeyman, like fringe rosterable guys. you got to be able to get past those guys and get pressure. So if it's Latu over there, if it's a blitz, if it's, whatever, they have to finish their sacks in this game if they want to be able to win, because Ward will make you pay. If you miss a sack and lose your rush lane, he'll get out of the pocket, buy time, and like we saw with Bo Nix last week on that long throw to Troy Franklin, he'll be able to deliver passes just like that. So big thing for the Colts is just finishing their sacks, lining up their target in the backfield, and making plays happen. But yeah, I think they're perfectly capable of getting that much. It's just, again, will they finish those plays? That's always been the question for the Colts the last couple of years.
Yeah, I was to say, I think Latu got in the backfield recently, couldn't finish. Tommy got in the backfield, couldn't finish. Yeah, this is a team that can get in the backfield. They just really struggle to finish. And then a couple more predictions said they thought Cam Ward might absolutely cook the Colts. So we'll see.
Yeah, I could see a big passing yardage output from him. It's just, again, they have a lot of things just working against them. And I think that Lou is just going to throw so many different curveballs in the secondary. It's going to be tough for him to be consistent in this one. Like, again, if you tell me he has like a Caleb Williams type game that Williams had against the Colts last year, where it was 300 yards passing, like under 60% completion percentage and 2 picks, I could see a game like that. I just don't know if it's going to be, I think one of our people said 400 yards. Like, I don't know about all that there, but
I think that person is
a Titans fan.
They're down bad. No, they weren't. They were a Colts fan. I just think they might be a little bit in it right now.
I get it. But yeah, Ward's a very talented player. He's going to be a really good player in this league. It's just, it's so early. This is the best time to play a young quarterback. So just keep throwing curveballs at him and see what he's ready for as a young player.
Yeah. All right, guys. So without further ado, we're going to tell you here in a moment exactly how we think this game turns out. This episode is brought to you by Square. Your favorite neighborhood spots run on Square. There's a certain business that just truly makes a neighborhood feel like home, brings everyone together, whether it's the local sports bar packed on game days, the coffee shop that knows your order by heart, or the corner deli that's been serving your community for decades. There are places that bring people together, and they're just like kind of staples and glue of the community. When neighborhood businesses thrive, the whole neighborhood thrives. So here in Indy, we've got several places that, run on Square, but a couple of them that I know of that I can absolutely vouch for. So Newfields, the museum, I think we've probably all been there by now. Right now, they've got their Harvest Nights thing going on. My wife and I go every year, whether it's like the adults only night or we take our daughter. It's really fun. They've got like it all set up for Halloween. Kids have a great time. Adults have a great time. There's stuff for everyone there. We're actually going next week, I think. So can't wait to go. It is definitely a staple of spooky season for us. And then if you're looking for like a restaurant that runs on Square as well, Gaucho's Fire. So that is a South American food place. And they've got like a food truck. I think they've got 2 actual like food stands. One of them is in the garage downtown, the food garage that I've mentioned on here before. That place, I don't really care about French fries, but their fries, absolutely incredible. I would go there just for the fries. And those are places that they're just, they feel like a community home. They bring people together, like we were mentioning, and just absolute staples. And I've been enjoying both of those places for years, so I cannot vouch for them hard enough. And when it comes to Square, they're a proud partner of more than 4 million neighborhood businesses around the world. You can go to square.com/go/LockedOnNFL to learn more. But before you do, go support your favorite neighborhood spot. You'll be happy you did. Square. See you in the neighborhood. All right, everydayers, welcome back. We are talking Colts and Titans. Again, that game is at 1 p.m. in Nashville at Nissan Stadium on Sunday. That's 1 p.m. Eastern time. So what do we think here, Zach? This one, initially, I thought it had trap game on it. We even got someone here that their bold prediction here was that this was a trap game for the Colts, and they were feeling a little bit sad about it, so to speak. But I don't think Tennessee – I don't think there's anything you can really hang their hat on right now and say, like, this is why they beat the Colts. This feels like one where, again, I mentioned at the top, the Colts just pound the heck out of the ball and get out of there. Like a quick ball game, get in, get out.
Yeah, I think for the Colts, this is a game where you got to show that you're for real. If you want it, like, I think in week 1, they kind of showed like, hey, we're above a team like the Miami Dolphins. We are more than capable of stomping a team this year. And then week 2 showed they could go toe-to-toe with a playoff caliber team like the Denver Broncos. This week is all about just taking care of business and making sure that you're here to stay as a legit contender this year, at least a contender for the playoffs. Because if you want to make the playoffs, you got to win your division games. And what better than to start the season in the division against a team that had the first overall pick last year. I think the Tennessee Titans have a decent thing building. I think they have some solid pieces on their team. Jeffrey Simmons, one of the best players in football. Cam Ward, I think, has the goods at quarterback, but they're still a long ways out. They're still the team that finished with that first pick last year. And I envision them being a top 10 pick yet again this year. So if you're the Colts and you're serious about making the playoffs this season, this is a game you can't take lightly, and you got to win. Like, just come out here, win this game, get to a good start in the division, go to 3-0, and officially win the month of September with a winning record and carry that into the rest of the year. So, yeah, every divisional game is certainly a trap game because divisional games are different. There's a different edge to them. There's different competitiveness to it. But when you look at this Colts team, they're going against the Titans team that shouldn't be on the same level as them, and Shane Steichen's never lost to the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, things can always change, but just establish who you are early in this game. Make the Titans feel that they are that number one overall pick team that they were from last year. Get out to an early lead and just go from there. I'm not saying coast, but like go from there. This should be a game where, like, again, if you're serious about making the playoffs, it should be closer to week 1 than week 2. Obviously, we'll take either result of winning the game, but it should be closer to week 1 than week 2 if you're a serious playoff team this year.
Yeah, without question. Like, I know division games are different, even if the talent level if there's an albatross in between it. Like, the Colts have swept the Titans the last 2 years, but the games have generally been pretty close. Like, I think there's a couple OT games in there as well. So these games should be close. I don't necessarily think this one will. I just think the way the Colts are playing right now and the way the Titans are playing, they're going to have a game where they show a little something first. I have the Colts winning 27-17 on this one, and I don't usually love to give out, multi-score difference predictions like that, but I'm pretty confident in saying, knocking on all the wood and about to probably sound like an idiot in a couple days, I think the Colts should control this one really, really well. I think they're really good at running the football. This offensive line has kind of shown that it should be for real. They're really good at running the ball. The Titans' defensive line is banged up. I mean, I think it's a pretty clear recipe here. I think they win comfortably, again, 27-17. And then, on the defensive side of the ball, you're getting Latu back. You hopefully are getting Charvarius Ward back. And then in the secondary, everyone can kind of get back to where they need to be in their own spots. And, I feel really good about this one.
Yeah, and to play like slight devil's advocate here, I think the only way this could go wrong for the Colts is, one, their whole offensive system right now has been predicated on pre-snap motion and just getting as clear a picture as possible. It's tougher to do that on the road, and this is their first road test of the year. So we're going to see how for real this offense is, if they can survive and thrive in a road environment. And then on the other hand, again, this Titans offense has that one difference maker in the quarterback who can make some big plays. So if things can actually click for them on offense, I think they can put up some points. But overall, I'm with you, Jake. This is a game the Colts should win. They have everything in their favor. They have a more talented roster, a more ready-to-win roster. There's really no reason they should lose this game. And I'm going to pick against them, though, because I have to. I'm required to. I'm 0-2 in my picks so far this year. The Colts are 2-0 in those games. And until they prove me right, I guess, I have to keep picking against the Colts. So I have it 27-26 Titans in this game. And I am hoping to move to 0-3, Jake. And if I move to 0-3, you better believe I'm going to be picking against them the next week as well. And the next week and the next week, I'll ride this thing 17-0. I'll go 0-17 if I have to this year to get the Colts wins. I'm wearing the socks backwards and I'm doing the ice dance before every game. But realistically, I think this is a game where, again, if the Colts want to be more than what they've been the last couple of years, which is that fringe 9-8, 8-9 type team, if you want to be a real playoff team that can maybe win the division this year, take care of business. No more playing around here. Take care of business against a Titans team that should not be on the same level as you. If they can't do that, then I think we might be looking at, again, that same 8-9, 9-8 type team. They got to take care of business on Sunday.
Yeah, this is all about again, taking care of business and taking advantage of what you're being gifted. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow's on IR. Houston, they're 0-2. Like you are being gifted at least the 7 seed if you just simply take care of the games you need to take care of. And this is a prime example of it. Also, I have a 5-hour drive ahead of me. Please don't make me drive that long just to see an ugly game. At least win, so I have positivity to write about. I would really like that.
Yeah, I will say I don't care how it looks. Just win the game. Like, that's all that matters right now. But yeah, big opportunity for the Colts on Sunday. We'll be able to cover it for you guys here on the channel post game on Sunday. Come here for the Colts Squad Show to give all of our emotional reactions. And we want to thank you guys, as always, for making Locked On Colts your first listen of the day. The NFL season is finally here, so if you're next listen, get a double dose of Locked On NFL podcast. Tyler the Madman Rowland gives you a shot of espresso to start your football day, while Tony Wiggins takes you into the barbershop for the smoothest breakdowns to end the day. Find Locked On NFL on YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcast. And if you guys want to become a Locked On Colts insider and chat with us directly and get that insider scoop, follow the link in our show notes. And if you don't already, make sure you're following at Locked On Colts, at Jake Arthur NFL, and at Zach Hicks 2, all on socials. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube, where we listen to your podcast. We love your guys' rings, reviews, and we'll catch you guys back here after the game on Sunday afternoon.